trip over this wire. If I do, y'all can cut it out. Hi, I'm Isa, and this song is called Cold. My room's a mess, I put on that dress you like, and I pretend that it's not raining outside. I stumble into some shoes I left by the door. Count on both hands the times you hurt me, like 1, 2, 3, 4. My head's in such a state of mess, and these shoulders can't hold all that stress. I stumble into you, regret it fills my chest. I feel blessed. You're cold, cold, cold. You're cold, cold, cold. And I need a little more than what you can offer. You're cold, cold, cold. You're cold, cold, cold. And I need a little more than what you can offer, yeah. Shiver off what's left of last night. Shower cold to make things alright. Waking up with you, I felt fine. Walking out that door, I realized my body shakes when I hear your name. My fist closed tight, baby, what a shame. Heavy, heavy, my heart, you cause me pain. Yeah, you say, and no one's to blame. You're cold, cold, cold. You're cold, cold, cold. And I need a little more than what you can offer. You're cold, cold, cold. You're cold, cold, cold. And I need a little more than what you can offer, yeah. You're cold, cold, cold. You're cold, cold, cold. And I need a little more than what you can offer.
I'm trying to have a menage a trois, man. What's wrong with you? Hit me up, kid.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Just you guys talking. Season 2. Tonight, we have with us the one, the only, Isa.
So, right off the bat, if you had to take on a bunch of 8-year-olds, how many could you take on?
In a fight to the death.
5.
5?
Yeah.
How are you coming
Why
to that
5?
conclusion?
Well, I mean, are they all the same size, roughly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Average 8-year-old size.
Okay, so 5. I think, like, I have 4 limbs. And then, like, I feel like I could take on the other one just, like, with another one.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Grab one, just swing them in a circle. Swing them in a circle, take them all out.
Some sort of
Shrek
wrecking ball.
style.
Yeah, I
something
think
like
5 is manageable. Above that, it would be too much at all.
I can see that.
They start to overwhelm at some point.
Yeah, 6 is definitely too many.
Pushing it.
Music. How'd you get into creating music?
When I was like 12, I started writing songs on guitar, like typical singer-songwriter style stuff. And then I started getting into recording and producing. And then I bought Pro Tools, and that was just like it, man. I just and like a MIDI, Pro Tools and a MIDI, and I'm like, I'm here to go.
Yep. It's time.
Yeah, it's time. And so I started I still started with like guitar and writing and piano. And then I picked up bass and guitar and drums just like honestly from YouTube. So yeah, so I did that, and then I just started like recording, producing my stuff, and then that kind of like changed the game for like how I wanted things to sound. Because like when you're a singer-songwriter and play, it's just like it all sounds like singer-songwriter, right? So like being able to be like, all right, this is how I want the drums to sound, and like learning how to play drums made that kind of happen and change the way you like think about it. So it was cool.
Just like new elements that kind of change how you think about the whole picture, kind of.
Literally, like writing songs and then thinking about the rhythm of how you want that song to sound instead of just being like G to D chord to E minor, you know? That was cool. That was cool to be able to do.
Yeah.
And then when you have your hand in like every aspect of the song and you're able to do every piece yourself, it's like full creative control. And if you're producing it on top of that, then there you go.
Yeah, it's definitely, there is, I mean, like I think people do love to boast if they do like produce everything. There is a downside because like you're the only one listening to the music. So sometimes like you've listened to it for 5 hours straight.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you're just like, oh, that snare just sounds like shit, and like it's not exactly how you want. And someone else, like having other people collaborate is cool too, because you don't have that if you're like, producing everything.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like that's a really popular thing.
Yeah, I think it's really easy to like buy Logic or Pro Tools and just like lock yourself in a room and record. I don't know if it's necessarily better or not. I think like having other people come in and work on things with you is super cool and important. But yeah, it's a give and take. I think it's what you like personally like to do as a music maker. Like I started just producing my own stuff because like I lived in Florida and I transferred to Belmont here in August. But when I was down there, I was going to recording school and like I was the only one kind of wanting to do that thing. So I just did it myself.
That's interesting.
Where are you from originally?
Daytona Beach, Florida.
Oh, okay, so you're from Florida.
Yeah.
How did you end up going to the school you went to, and then how was the transition from there to Belmont?
So the school the school I went to was called Daytona State College, and it was like the community college of where I grew up. And so they have like there's a big recording school in Florida called Full Sail University, and it's like a video production type thing. And so our school had a recording program really similar to that school. And so I mean, I was into music and I was just gonna go for my AA. And then I was like, well, this seems really fucking cool. Let me do that. So then I did that, and they taught us like analog consoles and signal flow and like soldering and wiring and stuff, which is really cool. And then it was like, so Belmont is a Mike Curb school, the guy who like gave the money to fund the place. And so randomly the program at this community college was a Mike Curb program. Yeah, so it was like some weird connection.
Yeah, what are the odds?
Yeah, and literally this is like a nothing community college. I mean, it's not nothing, but it's like a small community college, and it was a 2-year degree that I got in recording. And then my professor was like, hey, you should definitely get your bachelor's, and there's a place in Nashville you can do it called Belmont. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out.
What inspired you musically? Like, who are your influences? And is there anything specific to you living in Florida that kind of influenced you?
I think definitely Southern rock in Florida, like surf rock in Florida is big. But I'm super influenced by like jazz, and I grew up like my mom listened to a lot of jazz music, like Etta James, Eartha Kitt, kind of like Billie Holiday's type stuff.
Yeah.
And then my dad was super like dad rock, typical, like Creedence Clearwater, you know, the Rolling Stones. And so like those two kind of mesh. And then I listened to like pop music, and especially in my like singer-songwriter phase, it was like Regina Spektor and Ingrid Michaelson, like that typical singer-songwriter stuff. Or I'm just like, oh, their lyrics are so fantastic. That kind of like thing. So it's a combination of all that stuff.
Tell us about Bob Ross. I saw you're into Bob Ross art.
Okay. The tea is that I actually live, in Florida. Daytona Beach is like right here. I live in a small little beach town right under Daytona Beach, and they have, I don't know if Bob Ross was from there, but my town loves Bob Ross.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a Bob Ross painting studio.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, every time I go home, I have to go to the Bob Ross painting studio. And it's just, like, amazing. They have these, like, TV screens always playing his videos. And it's just, like, such a mood. So I love him. I mean, like, how could you not? Happy little trees, right? Like,
Yeah.
That's his thing.
Does that, I guess, aesthetic play into your sound?
I mean, I'd like to think I carry a little Bob Ross with
Yeah.
me, you know? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I figure we like, the things that we do like affect us in other ways than just, like, oh, this looks appealing.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to think I have a bit of that vibe because it's cool.
How often do you call on Future's cheesecake commentary to help get you through a tough week?
Future. That interview, like, is the best interview.
Iconic.
Iconic. I've seen in so long. It's just like the diversity between that, like, cheesy white kid and Future just being so cool. And, like, he asked him, like, what's your favorite dessert? And Future's like, cheesecake. Like, of course. How would you not know?
Yeah.
Oh, Future's so cool.
What's your favorite kind of cheesecake?
Going with Future, plain, obviously, is the
Plain?
best. Yes, original,
Really?
OG.
Oh,
Why? What's yours? What would you do?
I might either go like classic strawberry or like a blueberry.
Blueberry. What about you?
Probably got to go with the classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to get fancy. Like,
Yeah.
cheesecake is good as is.
Hmm.
You don't have to, like, make it fancy.
Mask it in other stuff.
Yeah.
Just let it be.
Traditional.
Favorite dessert, or is cheesecake your favorite dessert?
Yes.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
I'd say so.
It's important.
I'd say so. I mean, you can't compare. It's, like, in its own category. It's cheesecake.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would you say yours is?
It depends on the day,
Okay.
for sure. But I don't know. I really like custard, so I like flan. I like creme brulee.
Oh, creme brulee. Have you seen
Yeah.
those? There's like an ASMR video of just like the tapping of creme brulee.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm gonna
You
stay
check
away
that
from
out
that.
later, yeah.
It's crazy.
My
ASMR.
sister, she's like 8. She'll put that on, and my mom freaks out because she hates that stuff so
ASMR.
much. Yeah.
It's such a hot topic. I don't know. I love it. I'm one of the people that totally like.
Yeah.
I put it on before I go to sleep, but not like the
Ooh, I
wild.
need to try that.
Not like the wild, like, eating ones. That freaks
It's a
me
little
out.
too
So,
aggressive.
all right. So what?
That's way too aggressive,
Yeah.
especially with like the like
Yeah.
binaural
Oh.
mic.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's just
So
like,
what's
so
your
much.
perfect ASMR to go to sleep
Okay, definitely the binaural head because like as a, like an audio dork, like the fidelity of that is just like so good.
to? Mm-hmm.
But it's just like the scratching, tapping. It just sounds like rain.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
You
Not
said
too
scratching. I
wild.
started thinking like
No.
nails on the chalkboard ASMR.
Yeah. So there's just like
There's wild ones.
like eating pickles, like crunchy pickles.
No, because like people, I feel like it gives ASMR a bad rap because like ASMR is actually really like good and relaxing, but like those like there's one that's just like eating McDonald's hash browns, just like super up close to the mic and then compressed a shit ton, and it's just like it's
Grease.
awful,
You hear the
awful,
grease.
awful.
Compressed grease.
Yeah.
This next song is called Bed of My Own. It's been a long time coming, and when I go home, I feel left out and beat down and a little bit stoned. Yeah, you're so nice to me, but you don't have to be so sympathetic, empathetic. I'm tired, can't you see? It's been a long time coming. All I do is put in work, and I'm going nowhere fast. I'm going nowhere fast. Been a long time coming. All I do is put in work, and I'm going nowhere fast. I'm going nowhere fast. So take these tired little arms and drag me all the way home. Want a bed of my own. I want a bed of my own. Take these tired little arms and drag me all the way home. Want a bed of my own. I want a bed of my own. I want a It's been a long time coming, and when I go home, I feel downright broken, like glass in the road, and yet you're so nice to me. But you don't have to be so sympathetic, empathetic. I'm tired, can't you see? It's been a long time coming. All I do is put in work, and I'm going nowhere fast. I'm going nowhere fast. Been a long time coming. All I do is put in work, and I'm going nowhere fast. I'm going nowhere fast. So take these tired little arms and drag me all the way home. Want a bed of my own, I want a bed of my own. Take these tired little arms and drag me all the way home. Want a bed of my own, I want a bed of my own. I want Well, I've been fighting the long fight, been hitting with my fist, been blocking left to right, and now I'm ready for rest. Oh, I've been fighting the long fight, and I've been hitting with my fist, been blocking left to right, and now I'm ready for rest. Oh, I've been fighting the long fight, been hitting with my fist, been blocking left to right, and now I'm ready for rest. Oh, I've been fighting the long fight, and I've been hitting with my fist, been blocking left to right, and now I'm ready for rest. So take these tired little arms and drag me all the way home. Want a bed of my own, I want a bed of my own. Take these tired little arms and drag me all the way home. Want a bed of my own, I want a bed of my own. I want a...
How much of your percussion are you like recording yourself versus like doing MIDI stuff? And
Well, percussion is hard because like the sample packs I have right now are just awful sounding. So I just like I either use them and just EQ and compress and just kind of like make them affect them like in some weird way because they're just kind of like free packs I've just downloaded. But like on the 2 singles that I have now, like the percussion I use, I'd say it's 50-50, like stuff I recorded, like the tambourine and like there's like a click, like the clicks I recorded, and then there's like a like shaker thing that was just like a sample, and like some of the Tom stuff was samples, but like the main drums on Cold were real drums I tracked, and then all the drums on the other single that I have out were samples.
Okay. Nice. Are there any instruments, since you play multiple instruments, are there any that you would like to learn?
I think I know the basses. The biggest, coolest instrument was learning drums because that was so different. Horns and saxophones and that sort of thing, I don't want to know how to play them because they're like magical to me and I want to keep it that way.
I know what you mean.
I don't know. I just feel like with other instruments, like I can understand if it's a string instrument, I was like, all right, I have a bass, like ukulele or guitar or bass, you know, of what that works. But like horns, I was just like, my mom was like, oh yeah, I should get you a trumpet for Christmas just so you can pick it up. And I was like, no, because that's like a magical instrument.
I know what you mean. They
Like,
you know,
I kind of think about that sometimes with like song arrangement and some of that because it's like with more popular stuff or even trying to make my own music, like starting kind of more simple, like you start to and understanding all the different instruments and stuff. More pop arranged music, you're able to kind of conceptually break down easier. So then it's like, oh, I'm analyzing it. I'm not really listening to it or experiencing it in the same way.
Yeah, and I think like being, and like you guys are into audio too, right? So like listening to music, like so you have to like make the decision of your like, you analyze it and or do you listen to it? Like, and honestly, sometimes like analyzing it takes away from the enjoyment.
Are you able to switch it off? Like,
sometimes with pop, it's harder because I'm always analyzing pop music, especially like because they're using such cool sounds right now. Well, maybe they always do, but like such cool sounds in pop. So I'm always just like analyzing that.
yeah.
But more like rock or jazz, I think I just kind of like experience that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's also, especially with jazz, it's more free and more complex, I guess, in nature. And I think that like, you might be able to break it down for a second, but it's not like, oh, well, I listened to it for 8 measures and I have the whole thing understood.
Yeah.
It's like constantly changing.
Yeah, it is.
Even if it's not constantly changing, but
it's harder.
Fresh.
Yeah, I think that, it's just like, it's like when, once because it was like a switch for me, like when I was down in recording school down in Florida, like there was a moment where like we were analyzing songs and it just like switched and I was like, well, fuck, I can't enjoy music anymore like how I did, because when you're not really analyzing, you're just like
taking it in.
Mm-hmm. And so it's cool to be able to like pick it apart now. But I don't know if I know how to turn it off. Do you know? Like, do you guys have that?
Yeah, I have the
I
same.
don't know. At this point, it's like, it's almost like I've been analyzing it so long that
that's just the way
it just
you
seems
experience
normal.
it? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I could be more intentional with it and like actively listening or not. But for the most part, I don't know.
You're
I guess
just always analyzing.
Yeah, I guess when you do it so much, you kind of forget what it's like to not do it at all.
Mm-hmm.
The Nashville Symphony does $10 tickets with a student ID, so yeah, I'll try and get out there sometime.
It's really good.
I heard good things
It's
about
really
it.
good. The Skimmerhorn's one of the best acoustic environments in like anywhere. But like hearing the classical music, because of the arrangement of the classical music, it's kind of like jazz, but it's like, even if I want to analyze it, it's almost like I'm forced to just experience it, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah, I was so shocked of how clear everything sounds. Like, you're so used to hearing instruments in just regular everyday spaces that you kind of expect to hear imbalances between things because it's not a perfect space. But when you go in there and everything is perfectly placed and sectioned off in the room, it's it's incredible.
The other thing is like, I mean, we all have some more exposure to more live music because it's just kind of what we do. But still, a lot of what I listen to is pre-recorded, and so to hear the symphony playing live, it's just a different
incredible.
experience. Yeah.
Seeing bands play live is like just so much different. And being here, I've been to so many more shows than like when I was in Florida because there's just so many people playing all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And the caliber is just so much better. Yeah.
It's a good time. But I think the good part about some of that is like it almost forces you to be like, oh, I've gotta grind, like you gotta go.
Yeah, no, it was super intimidating, like coming up here and being and just like so many people are so good, and not that like I had an ego or felt like, oh yeah, like I'm, but like there's not as many people doing like
yeah,
there
it's
weren't
just a
even
different environment.
There weren't even that many like girls like I didn't know any girls producing in Florida. And now I know so many, and that's so cool. And I'm like, well, how are you doing this, and how are you doing that, and like, so there's upsides, and then it's also intimidating because like there's so many. You just see where you're sitting and the amazing people that are doing amazing things around you.
Community and competition.
Yeah,
it goes hand in hand. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. Season 2, kicking it off.
Go.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yep.
This song is called Leaving Without You. It's so close, I can almost taste it. No time to spare, we cannot waste it. And I feel you running through my veins. I hope you make it back before the rain. Hey. So far I see horizon. Lend me your lungs and I'll dive in. Push me up against the wall there. The road less traveled leads to somewhere. I'm leaving with or without you, babe. I hope you make it on the way. I'm leaving with or without you, baby. If not, we'll meet someday.
not waiting around in your bed. I got plans to get ahead. It's not something I did, I know it's something I said. Well, I'm talking, you're looking like ice. It's not even cold outside. Still feel you running, running through my veins. I hope you make it back before the rain. I'm leaving with or without you, babe. I hope you make it on the way. I'm leaving with or without you, babe. If not, we'll meet someday. Like in a year or two, I'll be wearing blue in the same old shoes that I bought with you. You'll say how you've been and what happened to our love. It used to be so good. What happened to you? I'm leaving with or without you, babe. I hope you make it on the way. I'm leaving with or without you, babe. If not, we'll meet someday. I'm leaving without you, babe. I hope you make it on the way. I'm leaving with or without you, babe. If not, we'll meet someday. I'm leaving with or without you, babe. If not, we'll meet someday.